焼く。最高の手際で、最高の火加減で。
焼く。最高の手際で、最高の火加減で。
Now, the lieutenant may be able to save you while you're trying to work the grill, but the only thing that's going to save you from people realizing you're looking for Tamaki Eroge Jojinshi is today's sponsor, NordVPN. It helps keep your data safe and your privacy safer by not allowing people to really snoop into what you're looking for. But the best part of it is being able to tap into other countries to watch their Netflix, their Crunchyroll, or whatever else that you may not be able to find in your local area. If you're looking to find the best deal around, check out my links below where you get 2 years for 68% off and they will throw in a free month. They're so confident that you'll love it, you'll get a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. Let's be honest, nobody should be asking questions while you're looking for that Tamaki Dojinshi Eroge, let's be honest here. I grew up eating these quite a bit in my household, and we always defaulted to whatever steak we had, and in this case, I found some really nice New York. I like using New York steak for this because I love the flavor, it's not super expensive where I am, and honestly, it cooks really nicely. Now, I know this is sacrilegious to some people, but I am going to trim off some of the fat because we're going to be cutting this New York into cubes. If you have too much of a fat to meat ratio, it actually won't cook very nicely because of those smaller pieces of meat. Once you have all of your New York cubes all ready to go, we're going to go ahead and toss this into a bowl so we can season this sucker. Add in about a tablespoon worth of oil, remember not to add too much, and then we're going to season this with about a tablespoon worth of garlic powder. And we're also going to hit this with some onion powder. Take the lid off with one hand and then drop the lid into your meat because that was going to happen. Why would you do that? Now add in about a tablespoon worth of your onion powder and make sure this is totally tossed and coated. We're also going to hit this with a fair amount of black pepper. Just make sure you don't use that glove, it's kind of gross right now. Crack in as much black pepper as you want. I like quite a bit for mine. Give this a good old toss because you no longer have a glove. And that's all we're going to be seasoning this with, super simple. Now we're also going to be adding quite a few vegetables to these kebabs. I'm using eggplant, onion, corn, some scallions, and this really beautiful zucchini that a friend gave me from her garden. Now you do want to make sure you cut everything fairly evenly so that way they cook evenly as well. The shape that I'm going for is similar to what we cut the New York to, so we're going to do these little chunkers for each and every vegetable. This is quite a few vegetables and you're probably not going to need all of it. But you want to do the same thing with the zucchini. Remember, trying to keep the same size and shape so that way they fit really nicely on your skewer. This zucchini looked so good, I had to just try it with some salt. Now for the corn. The corn isn't actually going to go on the skewer, but it was on his barbecue, so I decided to cut some anyways. I cut mine into thirds, but if you're going to put this on your skewer, cut them into medallions instead. Apparently I quartered an onion somewhere along the way, so feel free to add that. Now I am going to season and oil up each vegetable individually so that way they are nice and ready to go for when we start putting them onto our skewer. So go ahead and season up each and every one, place them onto a sheet tray, and just get these ready to go so you're not worried about where your mise en place is. Now we need to make a little bit of a sauce or glaze. This is totally up to you, but I am going to go with somewhat of a teriyaki theme on this. I am using my homemade teriyaki recipe, and if you need that, it's down below in the description. To this, I use 1 tablespoon worth of honey and 1 teaspoon worth of chili flakes just to sweeten it up and give it some spice. Cook this until it starts simmering and then immediately turn it off and let it cool down. Now I need to talk about the art of the skewer. I like to make sure that I oil up each and every skewer just so everything kind of slides really nicely, otherwise you might snag some things. Start off with one of your bigger pieces first. I'm starting off with the eggplant, followed by some of the onion, then the zucchini, then 1 chunk of your steak, then eggplant, onion, zucchini, and steak, and top it off with more vegetables as well, so that way everything is kind of sandwiching all the meat. I also made one that was all vegetables, just because I had so much extra. Now get your grill nice and greased up. I like to take a towel and coat it with some oil and then rub down the grill with it just to get it ready to go. I start off with adding my corn first onto the grill because that's going to take the longest, followed by adding on those very beautiful skewers of meat and vegetables. My grill is on really high right now to get it started, just so you can kind of get a little bit of a char on it. And while that's going, I do like to dab on some of our really nice spicy sweet teriyaki sauce. Make sure not to add too much or you could get flare-ups. We're going to cook this for about 5 to 6 minutes on each side, and as you rotate each of your skewers, you want to make sure you go ahead and re-glaze each and every side. This is going to ensure this really beautiful coatage. After about 10 to 15 total minutes, these should be ready to go. They don't take too long. Make sure you let them rest on a wire rack over a sheet tray just so you don't let them sit in its own juices for too long while you bring them back in. And this is what our beautiful kebabs look like. They have this beautiful color, nice and charred, A little bit of caramelization from the sugars and the honey, everything is just so nice. Now I am plating mine up with a little bit of steamed white rice, 2 of those beautiful skewers right on top of it, a little bit of corn just to accompany it. Just put it on the plate, Paul. What do you, stop messing with it. Put it on the plate. And then just a little bit of umeboshi, and there it is, our beautiful kebabs from Fire Force. Hopefully Tamaki keeps her pants on. There it is, guys, your kebabs from Fire Force that the lieutenant made, and they're relatively simple to make. What's really cool about making stuff like this is you can use whatever vegetables are in season, really whatever cuts of meat that you want. They're, you know, on the more tender side like the New York or the ribeye. It allows it to cook just a little bit better on the grill because you're not cooking this for too long. I paired mine up with just some white rice and a little bit of umeboshi and the grilled corn, and that's pretty much all you need. So normally the best way to eat kebab, honestly, is to just take the shish and push everything off of it, so that way you just have everything on your plate. I mean, we have a little bit of charring on some of the vegetables, but they're still really, really nice. That's really good. Then for the steak, I want to cut this open and see what it looks like. See what we cooked it to. That's not bad. I mean, it's probably closer to a medium well, but no, that's good. That's a medium. Oh my God. It's spicy. It's slightly sweet from the teriyaki, but it's super tender. Oh, What's really nice about putting this on rice is that you get all of those beef and vegetable juices and teriyaki and everything right on top of the rice, because look at this bite. I can get an onion with it. Look at that. Let me know if you've ever made kebabs like this before. I kind of grew up with food like this, even though, you know, we kind of use Japanese flavors today, but it's super easy to make and it's just really, really good. My name is Chef PK. Get subscribed. Remember, keep playing with your food. I'm gonna go eat all of this. Probably shouldn't eat all of this. I'm supposed to be on a diet, but it's mostly vegetables. It's fine. It's fine.